To get started, open Codesys project, go to our device, and connect to the controller. For this case, our IP address is 192.168.2.21. When prompted for the credentials, we'll put in admin and our password WAGO. Once connected, we'll right-click PFC200 bus and scan for devices to pick up any local I/O cards. Confirm the I/O is correct, and then click OK to confirm. Next, we'll add in our Ethernet adapter. We will right-click on device and go to Add Device, and here we're looking for our Ethernet card. So go ahead and click Ethernet, click OK. From here, we'll click on Ethernet, Browse, and then the IP address of our device to select that Ethernet port. Now that we have our Ethernet card configured, we can add the adapter. So right-click on Ethernet, Add Device, and we're going to add an EthernetIP local adapter. We'll wait while that card gets added, then click Close. From there, we'll right-click EthernetIP adapter and add a new device. This will be a specific data type that we want to set up in our communications between the Studio 5000 project and the Codesys project. Now that I've added the module, I can right-click it and go to Properties to rename it. I'm going to call this one WAGO to AB DWORD. From here, I'll click OK and click OK to refactoring to rename the appropriate objects in the PLC program. From here, I can double-click the adapter to change the module data type. I'm going to select DWORD output module to send a double word output from the WAGO PLC to the Allen Bradley. Under I/O mapping, I can assign a variable to this double word. For this case, I'm going to name it DW_WAGO to AB to denote the data type and which PLC is sending the information. Now that this module is configured, I'm going to add an additional module. Now I'm going to go through the same process of renaming this module. For this case, I'm going to name this WAGO to AB real. Again, I'll go through the same process of double-clicking the module by first defining the module data type as a real output module. I'm going to name this one R_WAGO to AB to denote that it's a real being sent from the WAGO PLC to the Allen Bradley. Now that we've got all of our outputs configured from the Codesys project, we'd like to configure the same inputs. From here, I'm going to follow the same process of adding the adapters, setting the data type, and rename the I/O mapping. Now that I have all my data types configured, I'm going to double-click on the EthernetIP adapter and look at this product code. This is something that will make it a unique EDS file for when I import it into my Studio 5000 project. If I had another controller that I wanted to connect to or a different data set, I'd want to assign it a different product code so that it doesn't overwrite the existing EDS file. The next step will now be open up your EDS file in a text document. This will allow us to see the name of the vendor, the product code that we assigned it, and we can also add a catalog number, which will give us just a text description of what this is. For this case, I'm going to call it WAGO 750 8216 Project 01. And once I've added that line, I can save this text file. We'll see later where that text will come in when we import it into our Studio 5000 project. Now I'm going to open up the EDS installation hardware tool. I'm going to add this new EDS file, so I'll go ahead and browse to that. Click Open, and then follow through the steps of the wizard. Once the wizard is complete, I can click Finish and exit. Now to add this device to the project, I can right-click on my Ethernet connection and do New Module. Once that loads, I can filter this, and what I'm looking for is my Codesys EDS files. So as you can see here now, I have that Project 01 EDS file, and I'm going to go ahead and click on that one and create that device. This is where that catalog description will come in. It'll show up under your catalog number. I'm going to name this particular device WAGO PFC200 and give it the IP address that I've assigned it. In this case, 192.168.2.21. Here I can see the data type that has been assigned given the export of the EDS file from Codesys. Clicking on my main routine, you can see some input and output mapping that I've provided as an example. Since we're sending double words and reals over from Codesys, we need to do a little bit of copy manipulation to get them from a SINT structure to a DINT or real structure within the Studio 5000 project. In this case, I'm copying SINT 0 through 3 of the double word into a new DINT data type, and then SINT 4 through 8 into a new real data type. Now that I have this configured, I can download my program to the controller. Go ahead and click download. Once it's done downloading, I can put the controller in run mode. Back to Codesys now. I'm also going to go ahead and download this program to the WAGO controller by going online and log in. Here I'm just seeing a confirmation that I can download the controller while it's currently in run mode, and we're off to the races downloading. Once the project is downloaded, the controller will be in stop mode. I'll need to right click on application and move it into run mode. We'll see now that we have all green lights next to our EthernetIP adapter. Just like I've done in our Studio 5000 project, I've created a basic mapping example here in PLC PRG where we're mapping our different inputs and outputs to new variables within the WAGO controller. If I want to monitor these same tags in the Studio 5000 project, I'll go to Controller Tags, the Monitor tab at the bottom, and then we can see the value of those data points.